Good morning and welcome to Valley Views. I'm your host, Glenn Edison. We're certainly glad to have you today. And as always, we want to thank our sponsor, BTC Fiber. And you can see our interviews on BTC Fiber's YouTube page as well as BTC Fiber's Cable Channel 18. And we want to thank our sponsors, Embers Ice Cream of Pikeville, Nickel Row Antiques of Pikeville, and White Wagon Bed and Breakfast of Pikeville. So if you're in Pikeville, go by and see those fine folks and see what they have to offer. And I'm certain you'll enjoy your trip there. And today we have with us Donna McGovern, and she's the owner of the Crafty Canary Gallery. I got all that right?
You did.
Yeah,
you said McGovern. It's McGovern.
McGovern? Why do I have McGowan?
There are some McGowans.
Well, I'm sorry. Donna McGovern. Let me correct that because I'll have to spell that out. And I'm sorry, Miss Donna. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Now, there was a little story behind the Crafty Canary because you had to add to your name, right?
Yeah. Yes, there is a little story back there. We wanted the Crafty Canary because we started that, years ago with our Facebook. But when we went to do that for our business, of course, that name was taken. So we added the gallery onto that, which was very suitable because as soon as you walk in the door, there's a gallery.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been really sweet to have that.
And it's a pretty neat place there. Well, first of all, let's before we get really into the interview, let's do a little background on you, how all this came about, and some of your background.
Okay. Well, we moved here 27 years ago from Florida, and we have 7 children. One was born here, the others were born in Florida, but our children were raised here. And so when we first moved here, we were getting acquainted, with everything. And I remember driving through the downtown area. And I just remember always looking at the buildings inside just to see what was going on. And I started to see businesses come and go and come and go.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, there was something discouraging about it because then I was like, well, what's going on? The downtown's not coming up. But lately I've been able to see that happen and be a part of it. To be a part of it has been just an awesome thing, and we're real excited about what's happening. And you wanted my background. We had a desire to kind of have our talents shown in the area for the purpose of bringing something cultural and bringing something to the area that we thought would be pretty nice. And it has taken us a few years to get here, but our desire was to do exactly what we're doing now. And we want the community to have fun. We want them to enjoy the arts because it's very therapeutic. It's just very good, to have this kind of activity going on for kids and adults as well. So, yeah. And
that's one thing we're going to talk about in just a few minutes about kids and adults. Now, does your gallery just feature local artists, or do you have people from outside the community?
Well, we discussed that, and we were just not sure. We thought, we don't know if we have enough local talent to fill up the gallery. So we decided that we would start with local talent. And so glad we did, Glenn, because as it turns out, our local talent has brought more to the gallery than we ever imagined. Overflowing. We still have a list. We have a list now, waiting list, because
Really?
Yes, because we have so much talent in our area. And if you come there and you see what we've got, you'll notice some of the varieties and woodworking. Oils, anything from oils to woodworking, metalworking, glass, and we've been thrilled. We have been thrilled to meet these artists and so glad that they're local. Yeah.
Well, I've noticed in the past with some of the art shows that have been like, for example, the old middle school, the Friends of the Library had their art show just a few months back.
Yes.
And there was all kinds of artwork. I mean, you had the oil, you had pencil, you had the watercolor, you had, and the sculpting as well, the woodworking and the metalworking. So there's more than just actual art, and on paper, or on canvas.
Certainly is.
And I think a lot of people in the past have been in the past, a lot of artists, especially here locally, maybe they're few or far between. You don't see them or don't know them much because people do them at home. And maybe some of them are not. They're not confident enough in their work. They just do it for themselves. But when other people see it, they think, "Wow, that's pretty good. You need to get this out."
And some of those came out of the woodwork. Yes, indeed. Joyce Humble, which is she's a local lady who's been painting for years, and as soon as we got her work, we were just like, wow, I mean, she needs to be in here.
Yeah.
And it took so many years, but yeah, she loves what she does, and she's gotten to be really good at what she does. Thankfully, we got to meet her.
Well, and art is like any other art, like writing or whatever. You have to do it over and over and over because you make those mistakes as you go along, and then you correct them as you go along.
Exactly, and I tell people that all the time. I'm actually teaching a beginner's drawing class right now, and that's what I tell my little artists. I say, look, this is like anything. If you're learning how to play the piano or the guitar or anything, it takes practice. So a lot of people think, oh, I can't do this, I tried and it didn't work. It's more than just trying. It's the desire to want to practice. And what comes out of that so often is a hidden talent that people didn't know they had, So it's exciting.
Well, and a lot of times, of course, I do the writing a lot, and a lot of times I realize I'll think of things and think, well, I'm not so sure about that, and then I just start writing, and then more thoughts come out.
Kind of flows.
Yeah, and so the same thing in art as well. You start doing things, and then you think, oh, I put this, or I add this, or things come around.
Yeah, you start to do that, right? You start to do your own thing. You start out learning these basics, but then you take those basics and you make it happen for you. That's why no two artists are the same, right?
Right.
We do it differently. So, yeah.
And that's encouraging here. As you mentioned, what all type artworks do you have there in your gallery?
Okay, so we have oils, a lot of paintings. We have acrylic, we have oils, we have some watercolor. We have, I don't know if you've heard of quilling before, but Tammy is one of our local artists, and she does quilling, and it's actually paper, and she takes paper and bends and twists it, and she puts it in a frame to create, she creates something out of it. And it was interesting to find out that was something different. That and woodworking, metalworking, recently glass. Somebody's really good at putting that glass, like stained glass, only it's in like forms of animals and things like that. So it's just such a variety. It would be hard to tell you all that we have, but I'm just thrilled that we actually have that variety in our store. We were really privileged.
Well, I know when I went to your store, I guess a couple of weeks ago, that it was already getting pretty full.
Yes.
And so it could be that maybe you'll have to expand one day.
Yeah. We hope so. We kind of hope so. We're doing classes in the back, so right now we have to kind of separate the two, Mm-hmm.
Well, I was going to ask you about the classes. What kind of classes do you offer in the age groups?
Okay, so we do the painting classes, which we started out doing. That was our first advertisement for This Is What We Do. Simply coming in, and my daughter usually leads a step-by-step painting. She'll take you step by step by step, and by the time you're finished, you don't even have to be an artist. You'll walk out with something that you're very proud of. We have those classes, and we encourage people to come, and we have snacks and drinks, and really we just have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's really a lot of fun. We recently turned that into offering a family night as well. So just this last week we had our first family night, and it was so much fun. We do the beginners drawing class. So that's happening right now. It's happening every Thursday. I'm doing one that I'm pretty far into, and recently started one for Friday because that one filled up. And so that's been a very popular thing. And then we've also started with little children, these little guys who, I'm going to tell you, they've got some talent.
Yeah.
They really do. And we feel privileged to be able to help kind of bring that out, It's kind of exciting to see them improve. And so we do offer classes for them as well. So it's just been pretty cool to meet a lot of people. We've met people that we already knew, but we've met a lot of new folks, as you have too, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
We have a lot moving into our community, but so yeah, we're trying to add to that and offer more of what we think folks would enjoy. Yeah.
Well, I know this is kind of early to ask this, but with this as it expands, could this turn into something like maybe a arts festival at some time in the future?
That is a future, but I wouldn't limit those possibilities, because the world of art, the whole thing of it, whether it's singing, instrumental, what we have, or anything like that, the arts are where people who are busy businessmen and women every day go to find their relief, to find their entertainment. So we're in the place of entertaining those who have pressures and those who need that weekend out to go to the concert, if you will, or whatever. So we feel that it would bring a lot in that. These festivals that we have, Valley Fest and Oktoberfest, we just had that, are good. They're so healthy to get out and go and see the entertainments. And so I'm excited for the arts in our area also to come up. And yes, indeed, we would love to have something like that. So,
I think that'd be neat, because we already have like the Songwriters Festival we had this past year, as you mentioned, Valley Fest, and there's a lot of other things out there that maybe haven't come about yet, but that's probably still in the pot brewing.
Yes, I hope so.
And, it would be great where we could just have something every weekend, so to speak, here in the valley.
Yes,
and bring people here.
Isn't it exciting? I mean, just seeing the town come alive and just having the festivals, it's just so exciting. And there's plenty to do. Used to years ago, there wasn't a whole lot to do. You had to go to Chattanooga, or you had to go somewhere else. And I think Chattanooga's kind of coming to us. I see that. Yeah, because we're exciting. We're starting to do a lot of good things.
Well, and a lot of people want to get out of the hustle and bustle of the bigger cities and come over here and just relax and have a good time.
Sure.
And so that's good. Are your art displays that you have in your gallery, are they for sale, or do people have them for sale, or do they just want to display them?
Yes, they are for sale. We kind of wanted it to be let the artist decide. It's their work, so we wanted them to decide what they would sell their artwork for. But it's all for sale, and we also have a few things in the art gallery right now that we call fillers, and those are some things that maybe we've done or we had already. And those are not for sale. Those are the ones that we try to hang on to. But for the most part, everything's for sale.
Well, you can't sell everything. You want something for somebody to look at.
You have something stable, right?
Yeah. And I understand that. Excuse me. Well, how do people, other than coming to your store, by the way, what's your hours to your gallery?
Okay, so our hours are Wednesday through Saturday, and we're open from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And that doesn't include the classes that we have. Usually those are any night of the week, any given night of the week. So if you drive by and you see the lights on inside, but we're closed, we're having a class.
I have done that. I drove by and saw you having a class one night, so that's good. Well, how, if someone other than going to the gallery, how do they get in touch with you if they want to put something in the gallery or ask about the classes?
Yes, okay. Well, we have our Facebook for those who are into that. We have The Crafty Canary. It is The Crafty Canary. And on there, it has all the information, contact and otherwise. You can also contact us by phone. Just look it up. The Crafty Canary phone number's there. And a lot of times people are calling us. They're calling on the phone and they're saying, hey, and they'll ask about something. And that's probably the best way to reach us. But we have our email, which is also on our Facebook.
Oh, okay.
The Crafty Canary Gallery at gmail.com. So all of these are ways that you could reach us.
Oh, good, because I'm sure you're getting more and more contacts each and every day.
We are, yes, thankfully. Yes,
well, that's a good
thankfully, we are.
I'm excited about that because anytime someone opens up a new business, you're always a little nervous because you don't know if it's going to go or or you're just not sure, and
right.
And
so true.
And I thought when I saw this, I thought I know a lot of people that are gonna like this.
Yes.
And,
yes, and it helps bring some folks in the community over there because they are interested in something like that, and just having that there has drawn in people who just come in and they're local and they say, wow, we're so glad you're here. Let me tell you what I do. And a lot of times we just have conversations. We have folks pop in and just sit and talk with us. I mean, we love that.
Yeah.
We want to be a place that's kind of cool. You can come there and enjoy art and come in and paint. We have a little studio area where you can come in and paint if you want to just sit there and paint. We're trying very hard to provide that kind of an atmosphere and something enjoyable. Like I said, it's therapy. It's therapy and very much good for the soul.
Yeah, it really is, and I think a lot of people, as I said earlier, maybe they're not so sure of their own talents, and then when someone else actually sees what they've done, they think, wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And because everybody's doesn't go out and brag about what they do, because sometimes you're not sure if it's just average like everybody else is doing, or if it gets out there. And what's really neat is when people and businesses start coming to your gallery and purchasing those things, and then you go to that business or maybe visit that person's house and you didn't know they bought your work.
Yes.
And you see it out in public.
Exactly. I've been drawing in the area, doing a lot of portraits for years now, probably 20 years at least. And so I got to know a lot of people that way. If you do a portrait for someone and they show it to their friend, well, their friend may want one. And so, so I've gotten to know just a lot of people who appreciate, that kind of thing. And so we also offer that from our gallery still to this day, where we have people who come in and say, hey, my grandfather passed away last month and I want to get a gift for my grandmother. Can you draw him, and her together? So we've even been able to take two separate pictures and put them together. So it's been rewarding just to see kind of, just to be able to provide those kind of memories and things for people. And we still do that. So that's how we started.
And I know a lot of people really are out there, they want that. Sometimes they just don't know where to go to get it.
Exactly, and that's another thing about having an actual location. You can say we're here, So that has been a very big thing. Good that you mentioned that. So. And
I know more photographers have been in the area, have developed in the area. That's becoming more of a popular thing around here too. This is the photography. Yes. Do y'all offer photography in your gallery?
Well, we had to limit, and so to get into photography is pretty big thing because there is so much talent in our area in photography as well, but we don't have the space for that. And we noticed that the local Game Shack down here has displayed some amazing photography. And I walked in the other day and I was like, wow, I know we don't have the space for it, but it is here. It is in our downtown. So if you get the chance and you could walk in and just see some of the local photography even there, it's just amazing. I don't do photography, so I was more amazed, at some of the stuff in there. So.
Well, and this area has so much nature. so you're it's kind of limitless on what you can do.
Oh, it is. What you can draw, what you can photograph, and things like that. We are looking to, in the very near future, hopefully, and I'm looking at your pictures up here because it's some of the older downtown or area. And so we're trying to do that. We want to replicate some of our older pictures of the downtown, the local depot, when they had the buildings, over on the side here. There are some pretty awesome pictures that we would love to replicate and put in the gallery just to view, just to say this is how, this is how things used to be. This is how it used to look. Have some history there. That's a future kind of thing we want to do as well. So.
Well, and I've noticed that cities and towns that get into their past history, like we're trying to do here now. A lot of people get into that and they want to see the old things and they want to have a sketch or a picture of the old things.
They love it and they do it. We've got a couple of older artists who have done that. They've painted or they've drawn what they remember in some of the photos that they have. So it's really interesting to look at some of that, and to talk to some of the older folks who remember. Oh my, they're here. They're here, and they'll tell you, and they do remember. And this town, our place where we are, we weren't born here, but we love it here. Our children were raised here, and so our heart is here, and we love our area, and we hope to see more of this progression. Yeah.
Well, and this area is progressing as far as it's growing. More businesses are coming here, more people are coming here. And eventually, with everything growing from Pikeville to Dunlap and Dunlap to Whitwell, things are it's spreading.
Yeah, it is. And inevitably it does happen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, I say, and a lot of new folks, you probably met some too, are coming in from other areas and bringing some really good ideas.
Right.
And we need to welcome them because they can bring a lot to us that we need to hear about as well. So we're excited about that.
Right, and I think in time, Dunlap is going to be a hub to the valley. And
I think so too.
And what we know as the local downtown is just going to be a part of the area. It's going to go.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. It's on its way. I was talking to someone in real estate the other day, and they said that we're growing really fast. So it's exciting in one way. It's in another way. If you've lived here all of your life, I can suppose that it would be, a little different. You have to get used to it, right? Because it's not the same anymore.
Well, I remember when I first moved here a little 40 years ago. I remember from where the high-tech market is up at the 28 and 127 intersection, the gas station.
Okay.
From there all the way down to where Dairy Queen was just a field.
Oh, wow.
And then after you left, after you got past the houses here on Rankin Avenue, there was
nothing.
Space.
Oh, wow. See, I don't know, but I do know when we first moved here, there was a drive-in theater right there where, I guess, Walgreens is, right in there.
Right.
Yeah. And so that was there. We went there a few times, and it's kind of sad to see that tear down and leave, because you kind of got used to it being there. And I'm sure those who were born and raised here probably really missed it.
They didn't want to see it go, I can tell you that.
I'm sure. But a lot of changes have been made here.
And let's see, I regret your social media because you talked about your Facebook page. Now, you said your classes, you even have them for the elementary students?
We do. We have a class on Thursdays. Well, we have a class on Wednesdays that is for the very young. And then we have from 8 to 13 on Thursdays. We have a class for that age. And it's a multimedia. We do, my daughter does that, and she does painting with oils, painting with, they learn to use different mediums so that their little tiny hands can get used to using them. And in those groups, we're starting to find that the parents were right. They came in and they said, my daughter is doing super well with like drawing and things like that. And sure enough, we'll start working with them and we'll start to see that some are doing exceptionally well. And for that, they're going to grow. And in the classes, they're going to learn how to hold the oils and the different mediums and get their hands used to being involved in different mediums. And that's what the purpose of that is. We'd like to see those talents grow. And so we are. And then we have our adult class, which is, I take I think it's 14 to adult. And so that's beginner's drawing. And boy, we're excited. I mean, we've seen real talent is coming out of that. And I tell them, once you learn the basics of drawing, you can do a lot with it. And so they're starting to see that now. It's been really a good class as well. So.
Well, good, because I know a lot of times I picture things in my head, and then when I try to draw it, it don't come out. I can still picture it, but it's not coming out on paper.
And that takes a long time to develop, and I'm not even there quite yet. To imagine something in your mind and put it on paper is a very special gift, and some folks have got that. I have to see it. If I can see it drawing, I'm good.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. It's hard.
Well, it's just like anything else, like my writing. It just takes time to develop.
It does.
And,
practice.
You have to work at it.
Practice.
Well, is there anything, Donna, that we haven't covered that you'd like to tell us about the gallery or anything going on that you want us to know about?
Well, I think we pretty much covered the gallery, and we welcome folks to come by, anytime they want to just hang out, because we are a hangout place.
Yeah.
We can do that there. We have the space and the facilities for that, and but also, I guess if I could say anything to end with, it would be how excited I am for our downtown area and for our community, and how we are becoming something that everyone can be a part of and enjoy. And so I encourage those who maybe hear this or could share with others to start supporting, start buying local. This helps us get things done and grow. Christmas is coming, walk downtown, buy some little things for Christmas, this year. These are things in all of our shops that'll keep us going, it'll keep things moving, and it'll be very good for the community. So I just encourage that and to be a part of it.
Well, you're right about buying local, because I know in the past there have been some places that started, but everybody didn't necessarily support it. They went maybe to Chattanooga.
Well, it's easy. It's easy to go to Chattanooga. I do it sometimes too. You have to for certain things, right? So we think, while we're here, but we are offering more here, so it makes it a little easier to say, well, they might have that in Dunlap. Do they have that in Dunlap? I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Is that in Dunlap? So we don't have everything, but for any that you could support, it's awesome to be local.
I think in time, a lot of that will come.
I do too. I really do, and I'm excited for that.
Well, good.
Yes.
Well, Donna, it was good talking to you today. Thank you for being with us today.
Good to be here.
Again, folks, you can see our interview on BTC Fiber's YouTube page, as well as BTC Fiber's Cable Channel 18. And again, thanks to our sponsors, Embers Ice Cream of Pikeville, Nickel Roll Antiques of Pikeville, and White Wagon Bed and Breakfast of Pikeville. So until next time, have a great day. Hey everybody, this is Glenn Edison from Valley Views. We appreciate you watching our shows, and we would like for you to like, share, and follow us on Facebook, as well as like and subscribe to our YouTube page.